Shalom. So, while T is kind of sort of here and also making pasta, and Sam Adams maybe possibly will be joining us because he has nothing to do while he waits for his wife to give birth. We are going to discuss Psalm 22. Now, I did make a video about Psalm 22 a long time ago, in which I actually read the Aramaic, the best Aramaic that we have. We don't actually have a very good Aramaic version of this psalm. Because this psalm is in many ways considered one of the most important by Christians. And during my little trip, I started thinking that about a lot of the stuff that people, including Michael Sartori, actually, who I haven't seen in a while, were saying about Protestant ritual and liturgy, and the fact that Protestants have started to my brain will start working, do things like, say, the rosary, and the importance of song and singing and choirs and everything that goes along with that. And so my mind traveled back to Psalm 22 and Jesus reciting it on the cross. This is actually, I believe, one of the most misunderstood parts of the Christian Bible. And frankly, I misunderstood it myself because when I was first told about it, I didn't recognize that it was he was quoting the first line of one of the Psalms, partially because it's not the first line. So in Judaism, we refer to Psalms by their first line. And many, if not most, if not all, well, not all, but many of the Psalms in Hebrew start with a note, right? So, for example, Psalm 22 starts with Lamanetseach al Ayelet HaShachar Mizmor LeDavid. And therefore, Jews generally refer to this psalm as Al Ayelet HaShachar because those are the first words that are unique to this psalm. And things, for example, Genesis in Hebrew is called Bereshit because the first word of the book of Genesis is Bereshit. And that's how things are titled generally in Judaism. And so when in Matthew and Mark, so let's look at, well, Mark 15 is actually chronologically before Matthew. And it says, Mark 15:34, and at 3 p.m, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? And so the general, so part of the debate becomes, did he just quote that verse or did he say the entire psalm? And for me, it seems pretty clear that, in fact, Jesus must have recited the entire psalm because this is a Jewish tradition to, especially in times of distress, to recite the Psalms, and therefore many Jews do have um, many Psalms, or at least a few Psalms, uh, and some of them, all of the Psalms. I actually know somebody who recites Psalms so much. I think she can. She can. Well, I know she can recite the entire book in 1 hour, because she's just done it so many times. Um, and I'm not sure if she can't recite the entire book by heart. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if she could. Um, anyway, so certainly knowing certain psalms, or at least one psalm or a few psalms by heart, is a very common thing in, among Jews. And so when in Mark and then in Matthew, it also says, and this is Matthew 27:46, about 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? And if you look in the commentaries, a lot of the commentaries will, in fact, debate whether or not Jesus was quoting just that one line or the entire psalm. In any case, I thought both because some people have wanted to learn to read Hebrew, and that's part of the reason I invited Trey, because he is actually learning to read Hebrew.
Hello, I'm making spaghetti.
And there he is. Um, I thought that it might be a good idea to help people who wanted to get to know this psalm very closely, very intimately, to go through it word for word by word, and in fact to help people read it and know it, and as a form of devotional, um, kind of, because again, a lot of Protestants have been talking about the need for ritual, and a ritual that is grounded in Christianity and the Bible, but at the same time isn't the rosary. And there are actually things like Protestant prayer beads, and people have started making Protestant versions of the rosary, which is kind of hilarious. Did you want to say something, Trey? I'm guessing he's making pasta. So, Psalm 22, let's read it, the King James Version, and you'll notice the first line. So if you look in some versions, it will have, so I think the NIV. Let's look at NIV. NIV. There it is. If you look at the NIV, so it will have the notes, which in the Hebrew are considered the first line of the psalm, as a kind of headline. And that's what the footnote tells you, is that's why there's the difference in numbering between the Hebrew and so if you look in a Hebrew Bible, generally there will be one line off a lot of times in the numbering, partially because of this. Okay, so this little note here is actually in the Hebrew, but the King James doesn't have it. So, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring? O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and am not silent. But thou art holy, O thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee and were delivered. They trusted in thee and were not confounded. But I am a worm and no man, a reproach of men and despised of the people. All they that see me laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip. They shake the head, saying, He trusted on the Lord that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delighted in him. But thou art he that took me out of the womb. Thou didst make me hope when I was upon my brother's mother's breasts. I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God from my mother's belly. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many bulls have compassed me, strong bulls of Bashan have beset me around. They gaped upon me with their mouths as a ravening and a roaring lion. And notice the lion imagery here. It will become important later. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax, it is melted in the midst of my bowels. My strength is dried up like a potsherd. Or is it a potsherd? I'm not sure. And my tongue cleaveth to my jaws, and thou hast brought me unto the dust of death. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. And that is a very controversial translation right there. And we'll talk about it later, I guess. I may tell all my bones, they look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vesture. But be not thou far from me, O Lord. O my strength, haste thee to help me. Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorns. I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the congregation will I praise thee. Ye that fear the Lord, praise him. All ye, the seed of Jacob, glorify him. And fear him, all ye, the seed of Israel. For he hath not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, neither hath he hid his face from him. But when he cried unto him, he heard. My praise shall be of thee in the great congregation. I will pay my vows before them that fear him. The meek shall eat and be satisfied, and they shall praise the Lord that seek him. Your heart shall live forever. All the ends of the world shall remember and turn unto the Lord, and all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before thee. For the kingdom is the Lord's, and he is the governor among the nations. All they that be fat upon earth shall eat and worship. All they that go down to the dust shall bow before him, and none can keep alive his own soul. A seed shall serve him, it shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation. They shall come and shall declare his righteousness unto a people that shall be born, that he hath done this. And so if we look at the NIV, It's going to actually have notes where there's some controversy, and it also has the full text, including the directions. So, for the director of music, to the tune of the doe of the morning, a psalm of David, and this is actually kind of controversial as well, how you exactly translate that, but we'll talk about that when we get into the Hebrew. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me? So far from my cries of anguish? My God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer, by night, and I find no rest, or night, and am not silent. Yet you are enthroned as the Holy One. You are the one Israel praises, or yet you are holy, enthroned on the praises of Israel. In you, our ancestors put their trust. They trusted, and you delivered them. To you, they cried out and were saved. In you, they trusted and were not put to shame. But I am a worm and not a man, scorned by everyone, despised by the people. All who see me mock me. They hurl insults, shaking their heads. He trusts in the Lord, they say. Let the Lord rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him. Yet you brought me out of the womb. You made me trust in you, even at my mother's breast. From birth I was cast on you. From my mother's womb you have been my God. Do not be far from me, for trouble is near, and there is no one to help. Many bulls surround me, strong bulls of Bashan encircle me. Roaring lions that tear their prey open their mouths wide against me. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart has turned to wax, it has melted within me. My mouth, or probable reading of the original Hebrew text, Masoretic text, strength, is dried up like a potsherd. Again, or it's potsherd. I'm not sure how you say this word. And my tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. You lay me in the dust of death. Dogs surround me. A pack of villains encircle me. They pierce. Dead Sea Scrolls and some manuscripts of the Masoretic text, Septuagint and Syriac, most manuscripts of the Masoretic text, me like a lion, and we'll actually discuss this. They pierce my hand and my feet. All my bones are on display. People stare and gloat over me. They divide my clothes among them and cast lots for my garment. But you, Lord, do not be far from me. You are my strength. Come quickly to help me. Deliver me from the sword, my precious life from the power of the dogs. Rescue me from the mouth of the lions. Save me from the horns of the wild oxen. I will declare your name to my people. In the assembly, I will praise you. You who fear the Lord, praise him. All you descendants of Jacob, honor him. Revere him, all you descendants of Israel. For he has not despised or scorned the suffering of the afflicted one. He has not hidden his face from him, but has listened to his cry for help. From you comes the theme of my praise in the great assembly. Before those who fear you, Hebrew hymn, I will fulfill my vows. The poor will eat and be satisfied. Those who seek the Lord will praise him. May your hearts live forever. All the ends of the earth will remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations will bow down before him. For dominion belongs to the Lord, and he rules over the nations. All the rich of the earth will feast and worship. All who go down to the dust will kneel before him. Those who cannot keep themselves alive Posterity will serve him. Future generations will be told about the Lord. They will proclaim his righteousness, declaring to a people yet unborn, he has done it. Did you want to say something, Trey?
Only that I got spaghetti.
Okay. You go spaghetti. And now I'm going to read the translation that's from the Koran Jerusalem Bible on Sepharia.
I don't know if you know
Uh,
how yummy spaghetti is, but it's very yummy.
Spaghetti is yummy. Pasta is in fact very very good. So here's the Jewish translation. Um, to the chief musician upon Ayelet Shahar, and what exactly that means is not clear. A psalm of David, and usually the Jewish way of doing things which are that unclear is just leave them in Hebrew. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me from the words of my loud complaint? O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and I have no rest. But thou art holy, O thou that art enthroned upon the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in thee, they trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried to thee and were delivered. They trusted in thee and were not confounded. But I am a worm and no man, a reproach of men and despised of the people. All that see me laugh me to scorn. They shout out the lip. They shake the head, saying, he trusts in the Lord that he will deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delights in him. But thou art he that took me out of the womb. Thou didst make me hope when I was upon my mother's breasts. I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God from my mother's belly. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help me. Many bulls have encompassed me. Strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round. They gape upon me with their mouths like a ravening and a roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is become like wax, it is melted in the midst of my bowels. My strength is dried up like a potsherd. Again, kecheres. I mean, I don't know how you translate cheres. Um, and
Get
my
him,
tongue.
get
What?
him. Just kind of making a half joke. Get him. That potsherd, that's the wrong word.
Is it potsherd or potsherd or what is it?
I mean, I would say potsherd. I'm imagining different people would like that's not like a common word in my dictionary.
Yeah, yeah, I'll have to look it up. And my tongue cleaves to my jaws, and thou layest me down in the dust of the death. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They seize my hands and my feet like a lion. I can count all my bones. They look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vesture. But be not thou far from me, O Lord. O my strength, haste thee to help me. Deliver my life from the sword, my only one from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast answered me from the horns of the wild oxen. I will declare thy name to my brethren. In the midst of the congregation, I will praise thee. You who fear the Lord, praise him. All you, the seed of Yaakov, glorify him, and fear him, all the seed of Israel. For he has not despised. What?
um, Yaakov, I'm guessing is something for God or something.
Jacob.
Oh, so I was wrong.
For he has not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, nor has he hid his face from him, but when he cried to him, he heard. My praise shall be of thee in the great congregation. I will pay my vows before those who fear him. The meek shall eat and be satisfied. Those who seek him shall
Amen.
praise the Lord. May your heart forever revive. All the ends of the world shall remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations shall worship before thee. For the kingdom is the Lord's, and he is ruler over the nations. All the fat ones of the earth shall eat and worship, all they that go down to the dust, and he that cannot keep alive his own soul shall bow before him. Their seed shall serve him. It shall be told of the Lord to the coming generation. They shall come and shall declare his righteousness to a people that shall be born, that he has done this. I was thinking that the next thing I would do is actually read it in Hebrew. Unless you had comments or stuff, Trey. Guess not. Okay. Let's do it that way. Okay. I think you guys should be able to see that.
All right, I think I can focus on this endeavor now. Spaghetti is done for. Have conquered the spaghetti. Did you finish your reading?
I did the English. I was going to read it in Hebrew now.
Ooh, perfect. Go.
למנצח על איילת השחר מזמור לדוד, אלי אלי למה עזבתני, רחוק מישועתי דברי שאגתי. אלוהי אקרא יומם ולא תענה, ולילה ולא דומיה לי. ואתה קדוש יושב תהילות ישראל, בך בטחו אבותינו, בטחו ותפלתמו. אליך זעקו ונמלטו, בך בטחו ולא בושו. ואנוכי תולעת ולא איש, חרפת אדם ובזוי עם. כל רואי ילעיגו לי, יפטירו בשפה יניעו ראש. גול אל אדוני יפלטהו, יצילהו כי חפץ בו. כי אתה כוחי מבטן, מבטיחי על שתי אמי. עליך השלכתי מרחם, מבטן אמי אלי אתה. אל תרחק ממני, כי צרה קרובה, כי אין עוזר. סבבוני פרים רבים, אבירי בשן כתרוני. פצו עלי פיהם, אריה טורף ושואג. כמים נשפכתי, והתפרדו כל עצמותי. היה ליבי כדונג, נמס בתוך מעי. יבש כחרס כוחי, ולשוני מודבק מעל כוחי חי, ולעפר מוות תשפטני. כי סבבוני כלבים, עדת מרעים הקיפוני, כארי ידי ורגלי. אספר כל עצמותי המה יביטו יראו בי, יחלקו בגדי להם, ועל לבושי יפילו גורל. ואתה אדוני אל תרחק אילותי לעזרתי חושה. הצילה מחרב נפשי מיד כלב יחידתי. הושיעני מפי אריה ומקרני רמים עניתני. אספרה שמך לאחי בתוך קהל אהלך. Yireh Adonai haluhu kol zera Yaakov kabduhu veguru mimenu kol zera Israel ki lo vaza velo shikatz enut ani velo histir panav mimenu uv shav o elav shamea. Me'itcha tehilati bekahal rav nedarai ashalem neged yirav yochlu anavim veyispa'u yehalu Adonai dorshav yechi levavchem la'ad yizkaru veyashuvu el Adonai kol afse aretz v'yishtachavu lefanecha kol mishpechot goyim ki ladonai hamlucha umoshel bagoyim achlu v'yishtachavu kol dishnei eretz lefanav yichra'u kol yordei afar v'nafsho lo chia zera yavdenu yesupar la Adonai lador Yavo yagidu tzidkato la'am nolad ki asa. Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
I
Do
wrote down.
you want to give it a try?
Oh yes, I do. I also want to say before I forget that I wrote some reminders texting you because I didn't want to say anything while you were saying the beautiful Hebrew words. Is it loading too? Because on my screen it's there. We go.
You wrote notes. I don't see notes.
I texted you on Discord some
Oh,
things. I believe
Discord.
Harvu was one of them, and the other one was that glorify him phrase. We might get to that, just in practice anyway. So
That sounded like parvu. I'm not sure. Another.
yeah,
How
I
to say
imagine
that
on
part?
both of them
Glorify
that
him.
we just practice reading it. We'll get through it anyway.
Yeah, we will. Glorify him would be kabduhu.
Kabdu. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds like Count Dooku. Haha.
So this is a vocalized and cantillated text.
Oh, fun.
So you're going to have to
Yeah,
ignore the cantillations.
gonna have to have fun. Woo! All right.
What happened? I was on Psalm 22. There we go. Okay. Can you read it?
I can try.
Can I
Uh,
make it bigger? Should I make it bigger?
uh, I mean, it's fine right now. If you want to, you can.
Make it a
Okay.
tiny bit bigger.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, all right. Lam. What is that? Not set. Is that a T sound or is that a he? Let's see. That's heth, right? Was that just
That's
like a breathe out sound? Was that what that was?
That's a het.
Yeah.
Now this this is one of the hard exceptions you're gonna
That's
have
why
to
you're here. So
memorize.
tell me about it.
There's yes. So when you have a patach under the last letter of a word, and that letter is a guttural like a het, what happens is that the patach moves up before the letter. So if you were going to read it normally,
Ah.
you would read it lemenetzecha, but because of this strange rule, it's actually lemenetzeach.
Oh, so close to aha. I was thinking it might be pronounced aha because that would have been great because it's funny. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, so it's lemenetzeach.
Yeah. Okay. So just to be clear, the normal is still what I was thinking correctly, which is kind of the breathing out ha or something.
Yes, that
Okay.
would be the normal, but because
Yeah.
it's at the end of a word, it
Okay.
becomes ach instead
Ah.
of ha. Yeah.
Okay. That guttural was difficult for me. So here we go. Lam na se ha. Is that what you said?
Se'ach.
Se ah. Se ah.
Yeah.
Because backwards you said ah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Because it's at the end.
Yeah. Let me try it a few times. Lam na se ah.
Mm-hmm.
Not say ah. Okay, difficult, but we got it. So what is that? No, that's not necessary. That's an iron.
Mm-hmm.
Like all.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Let's see, what is it? Segol, Yelet, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Yelet. Okay. Let's see here. Ha, Sha, Har.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
Sh-
way you can tell a chet from a tuff is the
okay.
tuff has a toe. So if you look at the bottom left, you'll see it has a toe on the leg of the bottom left
Yeah,
leg.
so that's the last letter of the alphabet, the Tav, and then
Yes.
Het is different.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have generally had trouble actually with those ones. So
Okay.
I think it was like the Ayin and the is it called Sarah? No, that's the other.
Tzaddik.
There
Yeah.
we
So the first word has a tzaddik in it, lemanetseach,
go.
and the
Yeah,
second word has an ayin in it,
yeah,
al. Right.
yeah.
So.
Anyways, I guess I pronounced that one already. So now next line, me. What is that? A Z meets
Mise.
me's more me's
Mm-hmm.
me's more. Okay. Oh, is that a D?
Mm-hmm.
Da. Let's see. Okay, so that's a cantillation mark, but that's like a E. So
Mm-hmm.
so l. Oh my gosh. D.
David.
Oh yeah, that's an ah.
Yeah.
V.
And that's how you say David in Hebrew.
Yep.
David.
Pretty much favorite character in the Bible. Woo, David. Okay. Um. Eli. Wait, is this one of those things that's different because it has like the yod after this like hirik thing?
It's not different. The yud is part of the chirik. So this is a what's called a chirik maleh. So the yud there is kind of silent because
Right.
it's part of the chirik.
Yeah, there's a couple of letters that are kind of silent a lot of the times. All right, so Eli.
Mm-hmm.
I pronounce it. Okay, cool. Uh, and then same as exact word.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Eli. Okay, so Eli. Oh, right, because he's saying, my God, we're right on it. Okay, so Eli, la, ma.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Az. Let's see. Okay, so it's V sound instead of a B sound. So, zav, uh, tani.
Good job.
Tani. I just have to go through it a couple of times in my mind to make sure I got it. What is this? Ra. Uh, that's just like the guttural sound.
Mm-hmm.
Ra. Let's see. Hoch.
Chok. Yeah.
Hoch.
Chok. That kuf is a you can use a K sound there. So it's
Oh, okay.
rachok.
Ra. Hoch.
Yeah,
Ra.
and for the people that might have too much problems with the guttural ch,
Yeah.
so what you can do is for the het, which is the sound here, you can basically just kind of say like a harsh h sound,
Hmm.
ha, right? As harsh as you can make it, ha, ha, right? But you can even use just an h sound, so you could say rahok,
Hmm.
and people will still understand you. And
Okay.
then for the other, but what you should do is for the other chaf sound, sound, the chaf, you should substitute that with a k, because that way people won't get confused between words that should be het and other things. So
Hmm.
for rahok, if it's really hard for you to say the ch, you can say rahok instead,
Ra. Hoch.
and people will still kind of understand you. They'll
Yeah.
just know you're having difficulty with the
Yeah,
het.
from this iteration, it's going to be not perfect, obviously. So I'm pretty much not even trying very hard, let's say, on the gutturals. So, anyways, um, what is this? Me. Oh wait. Oh my gosh, that's not a holum. That's the thing that makes it a shin. Me. So is that just silence? So me.
So actually, it's kind of not. I mean, you got. I guess you could say Mishuati, but I think most people would say Miyishuati just because the yud there is. Yeah, that's kind of strange. You can just say Mishuati.
This is why
Just
we have a teacher here instead of a robot or.
yeah. Well, I really think people usually say Mi Yeshuati because Yeshuati like has the yud there,
Mm,
and that's why yeah things are a little strange there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this kind of a language, I have not definitely been like trying to go for like if I try to read any at all without an actual teacher here to ask questions, I just do like one line because I might be learning it to all the way wrong, and that's just not helpful. So, moving on. Say it again. Let's see. Mishuati.
Mishuati. Yeah.
Mishuati. 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 Okay, cool. So next is this D. Uh, Div. Re. Just Divre.
Divrei.
Divrei because of the yod. Okay, Divrei. Okay. Sha ga ti. Let's see. Is this gonna be
Perfect.
like a Y at the end? No. Okay.
Shagati. Yeah.
Shagati. Okay. Uh, Eloha. What is that? Eloha. Yeah, it is Eloha, right?
Elo. Hi.
Hi because of the Y. Okay. Elohai. Well, I got it close. Let's see. What is this? Ech. Ech.
It's
Zik.
not a guttural there. That's just a cuff.
Okay. So, ek. Uh, ra. Ekra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, yo. Isn't that a V sound? Yo. Mam? What is that? Yovamam?
No, that's a holam maleh, so you don't actually say the vav there. So it's
Oh.
just yomam.
Yo. So that's silent right there. Yo, mom. Okay. No,
By
you're.
day. Yeah.
Um, the velo, velo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hmm. The whole lemma makes it silent, but the next one is not silent. All right. Next line. Ta. Let's see here. Tayane. Ta.
Ta'ane.
Taane.
Mm-hmm.
Taane. Okay. Uh. Let's see, is that like Velai because of the yod there?
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Velai la Velai
Mm-hmm.
sounds like Delilah. All right, so help me on this first letter of the next one because I'm guessing there's a cancellation mark or something.
There is a cantillation mark. There's also a shva there, so it's just a vav with a shva.
Lo.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a sound? De Mia. De Mia.
So that's a kubutz underneath the dalid.
Okay.
So it's a oo sound. So it's
Ooh. Okay.
yeah,
Like the
do.
Shuruk is how I
Yeah.
remember that.
It's
So
like a shuruk, but it's a kubutz. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So do Mia, do Mia,
Mm-hmm.
and then just Lee, or is it something
Mm-hmm.
different? Okay, so
Yep. To me. Yeah. Lee.
okay. Um, V A ta. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Va'ata? Okay. Um, so this is a sharp K sound, maybe. Ka.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a D? What is that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a D. Okay. So kadosh, kadosh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, wait. So this Vav doesn't exist or something? It's silent. So,
Yeah.
uh, yo, I want to say Yoshi so bad. Yoshev, Yoshev.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta find the Hebrew word that sounds like Yoshi. That'd be great. All right, so tahilot, tahilot,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
tahilot, tahilot. Okay, so Yis. Ra Al
L.
Yisrael. Oh, that's Israel. Ha!
It is. Good job.
Yeah. Hey, just a random question. Did you ever play the Mario games when you were young?
I
Mario.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I know Yoshi.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. So let's see. It's the B with the dot, I think. So, uh, oh man, is that a D or is that like the ending of some kind of?
Yeah, it's a Sofit. It's a Chaf Sofit.
Difficult for me. My gosh. Because it goes below the line. But I'm
Exactly. Yeah, it looks just like a Dalet, but it goes below the line, so it's a Chaf Sofit.
Half. Okay, the cough thing. Man, that is so difficult for me. So the like curved like sideways U. It's the ending of that. Man, that's so difficult. Okay, so uh, let's see. So it'd be like ha, I guess. So baha, is that how you say it?
Bacha.
G
Yeah, in you. Yes, Bacha.
in you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So bat. Let's see. What is that? Bat. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is like guttural, and then like a U. So who? Is that how you say that? So let's see. Bat who.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Avotenu?
Perfect.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that Yod one.
Good job.
Avotenu.
Avotenu, our fathers.
Avotenu. Because the E and the Y. Avotenu.
Mhm.
Difficult. Alright, so let's see. Let's see. Bat. Oh, this is the same one, maybe? Let's
It
see.
is the exact same word. Yeah.
Oh, it's just a cancellation mark that's different, I guess. Okay.
There is. Yeah, the cancellations are different. Yes.
Okay. I can't wait to learn those eventually. So let's see. I want to make sure to say it right again, though. So bat who, something like that.
Yep.
So what's this? A vav, vat. Oh gosh, what is this? The p sound.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
But
wait,
there's no dot in it, so it's a f sound.
oh f sound. Okay, so vat, fal, uh, temo,
Mm-hmm. Vatefaltemo.
fal, vatafal. What was the last ending of it? Say the whole thing again.
Vatefaltemo.
Vatafaltemo. 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 Okay, cool. Hello. No, that's not right, is it? Le. Is that Y silent? What is that?
No,
I
it's
maybe like a I sound.
it's like a Y sound. So LA.
LA, that's what it is. Okay. LA, and then this is not the D. This is the calf. So feet with the comets in it, which makes it what? That's like a. Is that a guttural? I can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Dagish. So it's like a ha. So
Mm-hmm.
ele yeha. Is that how you say it?
Eleja. Yeah.
Eleha. Eleha. Okay. Eleha. All right, and then what is this? A Z.
First place
Za.
again.
You can hear your background, can't you? Good job.
Somebody won first place. That's what I heard.
Oh man, where are we? Right there. Z za. That's a Y sound, right? Za ya ku. Za
Za'aku. Ayin is silent. So za'aku.
ku. Za ku. Okay, za ku. Um, Venim Latu, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Venim Latu.
Mm-hmm.
Venim Latu. Okay. Uh, ba, oh gosh, that's ha. So
Mm-hmm.
bcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what is this? Vat. Uh, who? Let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the breathing out with the who. Okay, but okay, I'm just gonna move on to the next word. The lo. That's a cancellation mark. Voshu? Voshu.
Mm-hmm.
moving on. Feels like a mental obstacle course, lol. The no. Oh my gosh, what is that? He, or is it like a with that Y
Mm-hmm.
sound? He.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Y silent or is that
Yeah, it's silent.
okay? So the no he, the
Mm-hmm.
no he,
Ve'anochi.
the no he. Okay. Tolaat.
Mm-hmm.
Tolaat.
Worm.
Worm. I am a worm, just like Slitherio. Ha ha ha. I'll show you that one time if you don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a game. Velo. Let's see here. That Yod makes me question things all the time. Ish, or is it like?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's Ish. All right. Okay. Uh, this is a hef. Hmm. Hair. Let's see. Uh, P sound. Let's see. Hair. Pot. Hair
Mm-hmm.
pot. Okay. Let's see. That's a D. Adam. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Adam.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh, Uv. Zoo? Let's see, is that Y sound at the end or anything? Let's see.
Yeah. So this is really difficult.
Okay,
It's
let's do it.
uvzui.
Uzui. Uzui. Okay. I can kind of see that coming from the Y sound of the Yod.
Yeah.
Uzui.
Uvzui.
Uzui. Uzui. Alright. I'm
Mm-hmm.
mm, Kal.
Mm.
What? What is
Do,
it?
do you remember what I taught you about this?
Uh, 1 second. I have to deal with real life stuff.
Real life. So, actually, they try on Safaria to make these Kamatz Katans a little bit taller. So, if you actually pay very close attention, you will see that this Kamatz Katan is a little bit longer than the other Kamats. For example, underneath the word underneath it, but this is one of the things you kind of have to remember, which is it's not call, it's kol, meaning all. And that's a very, very common word. Now,
So,
do you remember?
within the hour, I will probably be going to a real life thing.
Mazel tov.
I kind of had to make like 3 choices at once. I was like, oh crap. So, anyways, um, let's see, where were we? The special one or something.
Yeah, we were talking about the kol instead of the call at the beginning
Oh,
of it.
that's that one that we made a whole video about.
We
Coal.
did.
It's like
Yes,
this
it's
specific
kol.
configuration. So this is kaf with a dagesh, and then a komets, and then a L one. So it's coal, not
Hmm. Means
call.
all. Yeah.
All that see me left is going coal. Okay. So let's see here. Depending on things, I might be leaving in 14 minutes or so. So let's
Okay.
get through as much as we can. Coal. Let's see. Row I, or is
Mm-hmm.
because that Y sound row I, row I. All right. So y'all, y'all. Um, what is that? A G? Agu? No, that's
Yal igu.
ego. Y'all ego. Okay. Lee. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Those yods always make me suspicious. So is this just silent at the beginning of the word with the yod? And it's just ah.
What do you mean? No, it's not silent.
So ya.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What is this thing? A P? But it's a F because no dagesh. Yaf.
Mm-hmm.
He. Let's see. Yaf. Oh my gosh, I don't know what these yods every time. Yaftiru. I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
that why. All right, so Yaftiru. Okay. Visa pa Visapa
Safa.
Zafa with an F.
Safa. Yeah. Lip.
Uh, Visafa Visafa. The lip. They shoot out the lip. They shake the head. Okay. So ya ni u, because that's
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep.
This ya
Yaniu.
ni u. Okay. Ya ni u. All right. So Rosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Goal. Is that what that is?
Hold on. Let me. That's so funny. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Let's see. Goal. L. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is the tetragrammaton.
Yeah. What do you say
So
for that? Adonai is what do you say?
I pronounce it when I'm saying Psalms. I pronounce it Adonai.
Huh. I'm kind of looking at it for a second. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. All right. So Yufal. Let's see. Yufalteu.
Who?
Yufalt. Got it right. Yufalteu.
Yefaltehu.
Tehu. The H sound. Okay. Yufalteu. Okay. Um. Yachts. Yahtzee. Yahtseal. Or who, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yahtzee who. Okay.
Yatzilehu.
Yahtzeel lehu. Yahtzeel lehu. Oh, I was seeing that as like a doggish. Okay, so Yahtzeel lehu. I want to know about the sideways S. I'm guessing cantillation mark. Do you know anything about it?
It is a cantillation mark.
That's all you know about it? Okay.
Yep, I'm really bad with cantillation marks.
Yeah.
That's actually one. If I remember correctly, it's one of those like really. So it's like key, right? But I'm really bad with the
Yeah.
tones. So yeah,
Got it. All right. So just key. Yeah. Okay. Like you just said. All right. So this is like instead of just the hair, this one's like you really put out the air out of your mouth or something with the hip.
yeah. This is the guttural. Yeah.
Ha Hafet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, let's see. Bo.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bo. All right. Wait. Oh, I want to look at the English. It delights in or something.
Yeah, chafetz means to desire or delight.
Yeah, that reminds me of Desiring God book. Anyways, moving on to the cough. Let's see. Uh, Key? Is there any kind of Y thing going on there? Is it just
Not really. So key, yeah,
key?
because or here, but yeah.
Yeah. Ta and then go. Let's see. What is that? Go he. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Go he. Go he. Okay. All right. Me ba. Let's see here. Because the so me ba. What is that? The in with the
Mm-hmm.
ending of the in. So me ba 10. Me ba
Mm-hmm.
me ba 10. Me ba 10. Okay. So mav uh tihi. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Tihi. T. Mav tihi. Tihi. Okay. Feel like I really got to get those yods down. It's really difficult to know what the yod means or not. All right, so iron. So all uh,
Mm-hmm.
should De. Let's see. What is that? It's gonna be like a day.
Shaday. Yeah,
Day.
breasts.
Day. Shaday. Okay. Im. Let's see. Imi, or is it like?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yep.
with the. Okay. So I gotta get through this. So with the sere, it kind of like changes the sound of it a bit with the yod, but with like hirik, it does not like change the sound of it with the yod.
Yes. So if you look at imi, the word my mother, right, you'll see that there's a chirik chaser underneath the yud. I mean, the aleph, meaning there's an aleph just with a chirik and there's no yud between the aleph and the mem. And then there's a chirik maleh underneath the mem, which has a chirik but has a yud after it, and they sound exactly the same. So a chirik chaser or a chirik maleh sound exactly the same, and in different places in the Bible they'll be spelled differently. It makes no difference.
Huh. Hmm. All right. I think just after many iterations, I'll get that down. Pat, lots of practice. Learn a language here. All right. So, uh, ale. That's, oh my gosh, not a D. Cough ending with a comment. Uh, so is it just gonna be a K sound or like a ha guttural? Let's see.
Yeah, ha. This is actually one of the most common suffixes in all of Hebrew. It means you.
Difficult for me. Okay. So, Ale. Oh my gosh, Ale. Uh, man, is that silent? Let's see. Lecha. Let's see.
Alecha.
Aleja. So with the kind of ease pronunciation, the yod changes it to like a Y sound on the end. Ale. Ha. Ha, but it's guttural because it's a cough with the comments. Ale, aleha. Jeez Louise. Okay, aleha. All right, so hash la. Let's see. Uh, lach. Uh, t.
That
Uh,
is exactly how I would have read it, except since we're looking so closely, I see that they actually have a kamatz katan underneath the
uh-oh.
hay. So it's actually hoshlachti.
Hosh lach t. What'd you say?
Yeah,
Hosh
hoshlachti.
t. Okay, so that's not hosh lach t.
Hmm.
Hosh
Yeah,
Okay.
and I would have never, I would have never noticed that if we weren't reading so closely.
Yeah, well, this is the things about the language is you gotta look closely. It's
Yeah.
precise language. It's a nerds nerding out for 2,000 years. All right, so let's see.
And think somebody actually invented all of these vocalization and cantillation marks himself.
God. All right, so mera. What is that? Hem.
Mm-hmm.
Merahem. Mera. Merahem. Yeah, as a random commentary, I do think that it's very interesting how God works through humans, and sort of that's my focus, and yet I'm always trying to remind myself to bring it down to earth. Indeed, men writing letters. All right, so me katan, that's an in. Me,
No, that's a bet. That's not a chaf. Me beten.
oh, wait, on the, trying to make sure we're on the right word. This word right here, okay. Me beten. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. Me beten. Let's see here. E me or yeah, e me.
Yes, my mother. Ini.
Barely starting to get used to that. It's like the E one that it changes the sound, but with the E sound it does not change the sound with the yod at the after. Okay, so Eli ta.
You are my God, Eliata.
Yay. What a great phrase. Eliata. Okay, so 3 minutes. Get through this 1 or 2 lines. I'll tier. Oh, so hawk. Let's see. What is that?
Mm-hmm.
Because no dagesh in the middle. It's a K sound.
Well, this a kuf is always a K sound with or without a dagesh.
Uh, nice. All right. So what is mimeni? Let's see.
Mm-hmm. From me, mimeni. Yeah.
Mimeni. Okay. Ki. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Kitsara.
Mm-hmm.
Kita. Okay. And then what is this? Hmm. I'm not sure about this. Kerova? What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Kerova?
Perfect.
Good. Kerova. Okay, so key. Hmm. What is that? Is that okay? So a because it changes the sound of it with the yod. A is it like an in ain?
Mm-hmm.
Ain. Hmm. Near. Okay, and then the last word probably for today. What is this? Hmm. Ozer? Ozer?
Yes, helper.
Oh, Ozer. Isn't the woman supposed to be a helper? So Ozer might.
Yeah, so actually in Genesis it calls her an ezer kenegdo. So ezer is one form of the verb to help, and ozer is a different verb. Yeah.
Okay then. Help meet. Yep. And so now I think I have less than 60 seconds for some part of it. I'm kind of thinking, yeah. Um, so we're on 12, and that was fun. Thank you for that, Mr. Tutor. I think I will
My
be doing
pleasure,
now.
Mr. T. Have fun wherever you're going.
Yep. Jesus
Yeah.
loves you. Jesus loves the internet. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. So I am going to keep on reading where he read. And then I think I'm actually going to go through it one more time and do it identifying each of the letters so that somebody who's just learning how to read can go ahead and learn how to read. Now, if you want to learn how to read, my plan is to focus on this psalm on a regular basis and help people read it and maybe even possibly learn to sing it, because I think this is a psalm that could easily become a biblical devotional for somebody who wants that. So, Sevavuni Parim Rabim Abirei Bashan Kitruni Patsu Alai Ihem Aryeh Oref Veshoeg Kamayim Nishpachti Vehitpardu Kol Atzmotai Haya Libi Kadonag Names Betoch Me'ai Yavesh Kacheres Kochi Ulshoni Mudbak Malkochai Vela'afar Mavet Tishpeteni Ki Sevavuni Telavim Adat Mereim Hikifuni Ka'ari Yadai Veraglai Asaper Kol atzmotai hema yabitu yiru vi. Yechalku begadai lahem ve'al levushi yapilu goral. Ve'ata Adonai al tirchak eyaluti le'ezrati chusha. Hatzila mecherev nafshi miyad kelev yechidati. Hoshieni mipi aryeh umikarne remim anitani. Asapra shimcha le'achai betoch kahal ahaleleka. Yir'eh Adonai hallelujah kol zera Yaakov kabduhu veguru mimenu kol zera Israel. Ki lo vaza velo shikatz enut ani velo histir panav mimeni uv shav'o elav shamea. Me'itcha tehilati bekahal rav nedarai ashalem neged yire'av. Yochlu anavim ve'yisba'u yehalalu Adonai dorshav yechi levavchem la'ad. Yizkaru v'yashuvu el Adonai kol afsei aretz v'yishtachavu lefanecha kol mishpachot goyim. Ki la'Adonai hamelucha umoshel bagoyim. Achlu va'yishtachavu kol dishnei eretz lefanav yichra'u kol yordei afar benafsho lo chiyah. Zera ya'avdenu yesupar la Adonai lador. Yavou ve'yagidu tzidkato la'am nolad ki asa. And that last mark there is what's called a petucha. It's when written in a scroll, it's an open break that goes all the way to the margins, as opposed to a closed break, which is just like a kind of an indent that doesn't go all the way to the margins. Okay, and what I am going to do is now take the time and identify each of the letters with each of the vowels. So if you know how to read Hebrew, this is going to be really, really boring. But if you don't know how to read Hebrew, then this, I hope, will be an easy way for you to review. So, first letter, lamed, with a patach underneath, mem, with a shva, nun, patach, tzadi, sere, het, patach. And so every letter generally should have a vowel, a vocalization mark. You'll notice that the tzadi actually has that little diamond over the tzadi. And that is, in fact, let me make this a little bit. Let me make this. That change the vocalization mark? No, it didn't. Was I looking at something else? Okay, I'm confusing myself. So there's a cantillation mark before the patach underneath the. Unless I was looking, I'm kind of confusing myself. Okay, I thought there was a diamond somewhere. So there's a diamond here over the shin on shachar, right? So were we looking at the wrong verse just a minute ago? Yes, we were. That's why. Because we were looking at verse 21. Okay, I'm like wondering what happened there. Okay, so we are on 22, and it's lamanatseach, right? So let's do this again. So first letter is a lamed with a patach, and you can ignore the cantillation mark. Mem with a shva, nun with a patach. The tzadi actually has a dagesh in it, which basically you can just ignore. The with a tsere underneath it, and then the het has a patach underneath it. And the rule I was saying, this is called a patach gezula, or a stolen patach, because at the end of a word, if the last letter is a guttural, and almost always this only applies to a chet, but it can also apply to a hey, and that's where most people actually make the mistake, because with a het, it happens a lot, and that there's a patach underneath it. And so instead of saying lamanatsecha, you say lamanatseach. Again, lamanatseach, right? And there is kind of a yud that gets in there somehow, but that's just how it is. So it's lamanatseach. Okay. Next word is ayin with a patach and lamed, al, aleph, patach, yud with a dagesh, which doesn't really make much of a difference, with a segol and a cancellation mark you can ignore, and lamed with a segol, tough. So al ayelet. The next word, hey with a patach, shin with a patach, a dagesh, and a cantillation mark. You can ignore the cantillation mark and the dagesh. It's kind of like a doubling, but you can ignore it. So it's ha shachar. Mem, chirik, and this is a chirik chaser because it doesn't have a yud, and a chirik chaser and a chirik maleh sound the exactly same. If there was a yud after it or there isn't, it's the same sound, but it's just written differently. And the same word can be written differently in different parts of the Bible. So, mis more. So, Zion with a shva. The mem has a cantillation mark underneath it, and a cholam maleh. So that vav there is a cholam maleh. When we get to a cholam chaser, I will point it out. But the vav is actually kind of silent there, because if you only had that dot without the vav there, it would still be mizmor, right? And the last letter is a resh. Lamed, shva, daled, kamatz, vav, chirik, daled. You can ignore the cancellation mark. So it's le David. And the best way to know that that's not a silent vav is it has its own vocalization mark, the chirik there. And David is actually sometimes written with a chirik maleh, so it's sometimes written Daled Vav Yud Daled David, but often not. So Le David. Aleph, Tere, Lamed, Chirik Maleh. So that's the Yud is kind of, it doesn't matter that it's there. So it's Eli, and there's a cancellation mark, but it's the exact same word as the next word with a different cancellation mark. So Eli, Eli. Next word, Lamed, Kamatz, Mem, Kamatz, Hey. And a hey at the end of a word, unless it has a dagesh, you don't really say it. You kind of swallow it. So it's lama, right? You can the hey is basically silent there. You would only say an aspirated hey, lama, if there was a dagesh in the hey. So lama, ayin. Now you'll notice that is a patach with a shva next to it, and that's called a chataf patach, which means that it's really supposed to be a little bit shorter than a normal patach, but you can basically just say it the same way as a patach. So ayin with a chataf patach, zayin with a patach, vet, because there's no dagesh, so it's a V sound, not a B sound, vet with a shva, taf with a kamatz and a cancellation mark and a dagesh. In modern Hebrew, there's no difference between a taf with a dagesh and without a dagesh. Some dialects do still differentiate between them. Nun with a chirik maleh, azav tani. Resh with a kamatz, het with a cholam maleh, kuf, so rachok. Mem with a chirik maleh, mi. Shin with a shuruk, right? That's the vav when it has a dot in the middle and it doesn't have its own vocalization, then it's a silent, it's really a silent V, and it's the same sound as a kubutz, so it's an U sound. So mishu, ayin with a kamatz, taf with a chirik maleh. So mishuati. Daled with a dagesh, and again in modern Hebrew we don't differentiate. With a chirik chaser, so there's no yud there, but it's still the same sound. Vet with a shva, resh with a tsere and a yud, so it's divrei, divrei. Shin with a patach, aleph with a chataf patach, gimel with a kamatz, and taf with a chirik maleh, sha'agati. Aleph, now this again, it's a shva with a segol, so it's a chataf segol, meaning that it's a little bit shorter than a normal segol. So Aleph with a chataf segol, lamed, and now this is a cholam chaser, so there's no vav there, but it's still the same sound. O, right? Hey with a patach and a yud, so Elohai. Aleph with a segol, kuf, shva, resh, kamatz, aleph, ek, ra, yud, cholam maleh, mem with a kamatz, mem sofit. So 5 letters have a final form. So at the end of every word that they appear in, they're written with a sofit, with a final form, and that's a mem sofit. Yomam. Vav with a shva, lamed with a cholam chaser, aleph. Lo. Taf, patach, ayin, patach, chataf patach, nun, segol, hey, ta'ane, and the hey is because it's at the end of a word, it's silent. Vav, shva, lamed, patach, yud, shva, lamed, kamatz, hey, laila. Vav, shva, lamed, cholam chaser, aleph, velo, daled, kubutz, mem, chirik, and the reason why there's a dagesh in the yud is because it's actually a chirik maleh, so there's really like 2 yuds there, and then the yud also has a kamatz underneath it, and then a hey, dumia, and the hey is silent. Lamed with a chirik maleh, li, to me, or for me, or I. Vav with a shva, aleph, patach, taf with a dagesh, and a kamatz, hey. Va'ata, kuf, kamatz, daled, olam maleh, shin, kadosh, yud, olam maleh, shin, tsere, vet, yoshev, taf, shva, hey, chirik chaser, lamed. The lamed has a dagesh in it, and really it's kind of doubling the lamed there. So it's tehilot, cholam maleh, taf, tehilot, yud, chirik chaser, sin, shva, resh, kamatz, aleph, tsere, lamed, Israel. Bet with a dagesh, shva, chaf sofit, kamatz, becha. Bet with a dagesh, kamatz, tet, shva, chet, shuruk. Aleph Pataf patach. Bet. So no dagesh. Kolam chaser. Taf. No dagesh. Tsere. Yud. Nun. Shuruk. Avotenu. Bet. Kamatz. Het. Het. Shuruk. Batchu. Vav. Patach. Taf. Shva. Fe. No, there's no dagesh, so it sounds like a fe instead of a pe. Patach. Lamed. Shva. Het. Tere. Mem. Olam male. Vatefal temo. And a little trick about a shva na and a shva nach. So a shva na is when it sounds like a very short e sound, like the e at the end of the word little. That's a shva na, right? A moving shva. And a shva nach is one that stops. So like Noach means rest, right? Nach, it stops. So in batchu, it doesn't actually make a sound, the shva underneath the tet. There are two times you can pretty much guess it's always going to be a shva na. So it is going to make a sound. Well, three. If it's underneath the first word of the first letter of a word. So like here, becha at the very beginning, becha. So it makes a slight S sound. If there's a dagesh in the letter, so va tefal temo. So yeah, here it would be tefal temo, right? And or if there are two shvas after each other, the first one will be a shva nach, and the second one will be a shva na. I'll point that out the next time we see it. Aleph tzere, lamed, segol, yud, chaf sofit, kamatz, elecha, zayin, kamatz, ayin, chataf, patach, kuf, shuruk, za'aku, vav, shva, nun, chirik chaser, mem, shva, lamed, kamatz, tet, shuruk, venimlatu, bet, shva, chaf, kamatz, becha, vet, kamatz, tet, shva, het, shuruk, batchu, vav, shva, lamed, olam chaser, aleph, velo, vet, olam male, shin, shuruk, voshu, vav, shva, aleph, kamatz, nun, cholam chaser, chaf, chirik male, ve'anochi, taf, cholam male, lamed, patach, ayin, patach, taf, tolaat, vav, shva, lamed, cholam chaser, aleph, velo. Aleph, Kirik Maleh, Shin, Ish. Het, Segol, Resh, Shva, Pe, Patach, Taf, Herpat. Aleph, Kamatz, Daled, Kamatz, Mem Sofit, Adam. Shuruk, Vet, Segol, Zion, Shuruk, Yud, Uvzui, Ayin, Kamatz, Mem, Sofit, Am. Kaf, Kamatz, Katan, and here they do actually, so they make the Kamatz Katan a little bit longer, and a Kamatz Katan sounds like an O sound. Okay, so but you kind of have to remember Kol, Kaf Lamed, meaning all, is always an O sound. Sometimes it's written with a cholam chaser, usually. Sometimes a cholam maleh. Oftentimes it's written with a kamatz katan. It's always kol. So kaf, kamatz katan, lamed, kol. Resh, cholam chaser, aleph, patach, yod, ro'ai. Yud, patach, lamed, ayin, chirik chaser, gimel, shuruk. Lamed, chirik maleh, yud, patach, pe, shva, tet, chirik maleh, resh, shuruk, yaftiru. Bet, shva, sin, kamatz, fe, kamatz, he, vesafa. Yud, kamatz, nun, chirik maleh, ayin, shuruk, yani'u. Resh, cholam chaser, aleph, shin, rosh. And aleph is one of the very few letters that sometimes just shows up without any vocalization marks of its own, because it makes a difference as far as what it means, and yeah, that it just happens sometimes. But rosh, so resh, cholam chaser, aleph, shin, rosh. Gimel, cholam chaser, lamed. So in modern Hebrew, there's no difference between a gimel without a kamatz and with a kamatz. Without a dagesh and with a dagesh. Aleph, so gol. Aleph, segol, lamed, el, and this is the tetragrammaton. The vocalizations, so this is where the mistaken way, especially witnesses and certain people say the tetragrammaton comes from, is that the vocalization marks indicate to you what you should say instead. And usually it's vocalized this way to tell you to say Adonai. And that's where people got their way of saying the tetragrammaton. But in other places, it's vocalized in different ways to tell you, for example, to say Elohim. So that's why it's different. Okay. So that's just a mistake. So we if we're using it in a profane manner, we'll just say Hashem, the name, or other ways of, I guess, euphemisms instead. In prayer, if it's vocalized this way, we will say Adonai. Okay, next word. Yud, Shva, Fe, Patach, Lamed, Shva, Tet, Sere, He, Shuruk. Yefaltehu. Yud, Patach, Tzadi, Chirik Maleh, Lamed, Tzere, He, Shuruk. Yatzilehu. Kaf, Chirik Maleh, Ki. Het, Kamatz, Fe, Tzere, Tzadi Sofit, Chafetz. Bet, Olam Maleh, Bo. Kaf, Chirik Maleh, Ki, Aleph, Patach, Taf, sorry. Kamatz, Ata, Gimel, Olam Chaser, Het, Chirik Maleh, Gochi, Mem, Chirik Chaser, Bet, Patach, Tet, Segol, Nun Sofit, Mibaten, Mem, Patach, Vet, Shva, Tet, Chirik Maleh, Het, Chirik Maleh, Mavtichi. Ayin, Patach, Lamed, Al, Shin, Shva, Daled, Tzere, Yud, Shtei. Aleph, Chirik Chaser, Mem, Chirik Maleh, Imi. Ayin, Kamatz, Lamed, Segol, Yud, Chaf Sofit, Kamatz, Alecha. Hey, and just because I was looking at it so closely, I noticed that it is a Kamatz Katan there. So Kamatz Katan, Ho, right? Shin, Shva, Lamed, Patach, Chaf, Shva, Taf, Chirik Maleh, Hoshlachti, Mem, Tzere, Resh, Kamatz, Het, Segol, Mem Sofit, Merachem. Mem, Chirik Chaser, Bet, Segol, Tet, Segol, Nun Sofit, Mi Beten. Aleph, Chirik Chaser, Mem, Chirik Maleh, Imi. Aleph, Tzere, Lamed, Chirik Maleh, Eli. Aleph, Kamatz, Taf, Kamatz, He, Ata. Aleph, Patach, Lamed, Al, Taf, Chirik Chaser, Resh, Shva, Het, Patach, Kuf, Tirchak. Mem, Chirik Chaser, Mem, Segol, Nun, Chirik Maleh, Mimeni. Kaf, Chirik Maleh, Tzadi, Kamatz, Resh, Kamatz, He, Tara. Kuf, Shva, Resh, Cholam Maleh, Vet, Kamatz, He, Krova. Kaf, Chirik Maleh, Aleph, Tzere, Yud, Nun Sofit. Ain. Ki ain. Did I not say ki? Ki ain. Ayin. Cholam male. Zayin. Tere. Resh. Ozer. Samech. Shva. Vet. Kamatz. Vet. Shuruk. Nun. Chirik male. Sivavuni. Pe. Kamatz. Resh. Chirik male. Mem sofit. Parim. Resh. Patach. Bet. Chirik male. Mem sofit. Rabim. Aleph. Patach. Bet. Chirik male. Resh. Tzere. Yud. Abirei. Vet. Kamatz. Shin. Kamatz. Nun sofit. Vashan. Kaf. Chirik chaser. Taf. Shva. Resh. Shuruk. Nun. Chirik male. Kitruni. Pe. Kamatz. Tzadi. Shuruk. Patsu. Ayin. Kamatz. Lamed. Patach. Yud. Alai. Pe. Chirik male. He. Segol. Mem sofit. Pihem. Aleph. Patach. Resh. Shva. Yud. Tzere. He. Aryeh. Tet. Cholam chaser. Resh. Tzere. Pe sofit. Fe sofit. Toref. Vav. Shin. Cholam chaser. Aleph. Tzere. Gimel. Veshoeg. Kaf. Patach. Mem. Patach. Yud. Chirik chaser. Mem sofit. Kamayim. Nun. Chirik chaser. Shin. Shva. Pe. Patach. Chaf. Shva. Taf. Chirik male. Nishpachti. Vav. Shva. He. Chirik chaser. Taf. Shva. Pe. Kamatz. Resh. Shva. Daled. Shuruk. Vehitpardu. Kaf. Kamatz katan. Lamed. Kol. Ayin. Patach. Tzadi. Shva. Mem. Cholam male. Taf. Kamatz. Yud. Atzmotai. He. Kamatz. Yud. Kamatz. He. Haya. Lamed. Chirik. Bet. Chirik male. Libi. Kaf. Patach. Daled. And in modern Hebrew, with or without the dagesh, it's the same. The Yemenites do make a difference. Cholam male, nun, kamatz, gimel, kadonag. Nun, kamatz, mem, samech, names. Bet, shva, taf, cholam male, chaf, shva, betoch. Mem, tzere, ayin, kamatz, yud, me'ai. Yud, kamatz, vet, tere, shin, yavesh. Kaf, patach, het, segol, resh, segol, sin, kacheres. Kaf, kolam chaser, het, chirik male, kochi. Shuruk, Lamed, Shva, Shin, Kolam Male, Nun, Chirik Male, Ulshoni, Mem, Kubutz, Daled, Bet, Kamatz, Kuf, Mem, Patach, Lamed, Kuf, Cholam Male, Het, Kamatz, Yud, Malkochai, Vav, Shva, Lamed, Patach, Aleph, Chataf Patach, Ayin, sorry, Chataf Patach, Fe, Patach, Resh, Vela'afar, Mem, Kamatz, Vav, Segol, Taf, Mavet, Taf, Chirik Chaser, Shin, Shva, Pe, Shva, Taf, Tzere, Nun, Chirik Maleh. And notice there's two shvas right next to each other. So the first one is going to be a shva nach, and the second one is going to be a shva na. So tishpeteni, tishpeteni. Kaf, chirik maleh, ki, samech, shva, vet, kamatz, vet, shuruk, nun, chirik maleh, sivavuni. Kaf, shva, lamed, kamatz, vet, chirik maleh, mem sofit, kelavim. Ayin, chataf patach, daled, patach, taf. Adat, mem, shva, resh, tsere, ayin, chirik maleh, mem sofit, mereim. He, chirik chaser, kuf, chirik maleh, fe, shuruk, nun, chirik maleh, ikifuni, kaf, kamatz, aleph, chataf patach, resh, chirik maleh, ka'ari, yud, kamatz, daled, patach, yud, yadai, vav, shva, resh, patach, gimel, shva, lamed, kamatz, yud, veraglai. Ayin, chataf, patach, samech, patach, pe, tsere, resh, asaper. Kaf, kamatz katan, lamed, kol. Ayin, patach, tzadi, shva, mem, cholam maleh, taf, kamatz, yud, atzmotai. He, tere, mem, kamatz, he, hema. The he at the end is silent. Yud, patach, bet, chirik maleh, tet, shuruk, yabitu. Yud, chirik chaser, resh, shva, aleph, shuruk. Yir'u, vet, chirik maleh, v. Yud, shva, chet, patach, lamed, shva, kuf, shuruk, yachalku. Vet, shva, gimel, kamatz, daled, patach, yud, vegadai. Lamed, kamatz, he, segol, mem, lahem. Vav, shva, ayin, patach, lamed, ve'al. Lamed, shva, vet, shuruk, shin, חיריק מלא, לבושי, יוד, פתח, פה, חיריק מלא, למד, שורוק, יפילו. גימל, חולם מלא, ריש, פתח, קמץ, sorry, למד, גורל. ו' שווה, א', פתח, ת', קמץ, ה', ואתה. This is the Tetragrammaton, so we say Adonai. Aleph, Patach, Lamed. Al, Paf, Chirik Chaser, Resh, Shva, Het, Kamatz, Kuf, Tirchak. Aleph, Chataf Segol, Yud, Kamatz, Lamed, Shuruk, Taf, Chirik Male, Eyaluti. Lamed, Shva, Ayin, Segol, Zayin, Shva, Resh, Kamatz, Taf, Perik Male, Le'ezrati, Het, Shuruk, Shin, Kamatz, He, Chusha. He, Patach, Tzadi, Perik Male, Lamed, Kamatz, He, Hatzila. Mem, Tere, Het, Segol, Resh, Segol, Vet, Mecherev. Nun, Patach, Fe, Shva, Shin, Chirik Male, Nafshi. Mem, Chirik Chaser, well, Chirik Male actually, there's a dagesh in the Yud. Yud, Patach, Dalid, Miyad. Kaf, Segol, Lamed, Segol, Vet, Kelev. Yud, Shva, Het, Chirik Male, Daled, Kamatz, Taf, Chirik Male, Yechidati. He, Holam Male, Shin, Chirik Male, Ayin, Tere, Nun, Chirik Male, Hoshieni. Mem, Chirik Chaser, Pe, Chirik Male, Mipi. Aleph, Patach, Resh, Shva, Yud, Tere, He, Aryeh. Shuruk, Mem, Chirik Chaser, Kuf, Patach, Resh, Shva, Nun, Tere, Yud. Umikarne, Resh, Tere, Mem, Chirik Male, Mem, Sofit. Remim, Ayin, Chataf, Patach, Nun, Chirik, Taf, Kamatz, Nun, Chirik Male. Anitani. Aleph, Chataf, Patach, Samech, Patach, Pe, Shva, Resh, Kamatz, He, Asapra. Shin, Chirik Chaser, Mem, Shva, Chaf, Kamatz, Shimcha. Lamed, Shva, Aleph, Segol, Het, Kamatz, Yud, Le'achai. Bet, Shva, Taf, Cholam, Male, Chaf, Shva, Betoch. Kuf, Kamatz, He, Kamatz, Lamed, Kahal. Aleph, Chataf, Patach, He, Patach, Lamed, Shva, Lamed, Segol, Kaf with a dagesh and a kamatz. Ahaleleka. Ahaleleka. And that's because of the cancellations and where it is in the thing, that's why it changed from ahalecha to ahaleka. Same meaning, slightly different how it's sung and grammatically. So Yud, Chirik Chaser, Resh, Shva, Aleph, Tzere, Yud, Yir A, again Tetragrammaton, Adonai, Hey, Kamatz, Lamed, Shva, not Kamatz, Hey Patach, sorry, Lamed, Shva, Lamed, Shuruk, Hey, Shuruk, Hallelujah, Kaf, Kamatz Katan, Lamed, Kol, Zayin, Segol, Resh, Patach, Ayin, Zera, Yud, Patach, Ayin, Chataf Patach, Kuf, Olam Chaser, Vet, Yaakov. That's my name. Kaf, Patach, Bet, Shva, Daled, Shuruk, Hey, Shuruk. Kabduhu. Vav, Shva, Gimel, Shuruk, Resh, Shuruk. Veguru. Mem, Chirik Chaser, Mem, Segol, Nun, Shuruk, Mimenu. Kaf, Kamatz Katan, Lamed, Kol, Zayin, Segol, Resh, Patach, Ayin, Zera, Yud, Chirik Chaser, Sin, Shva, Resh, Kamatz, Aleph, Lamed, Israel. Kaf, Chirik Maleh, Ki, Lamed, Cholam Chaser, Aleph, Lo, Vet, Kamatz, Zayin, Kamatz, Hey, Vaza, Vet, Vav, Shva, Lamed, Cholam Chaser, Aleph, Velo, Shin, Chirik Chaser, Kuf, Kamatz, Tzadik, Sofit, Shikatz, Ayin, Chataf Segol, Nun, Shuruk, Taf, and Nut. Ayin, Kamatz, Nun, Chirik Maleh, Ani. Vav, Shva, Lamed, Cholam Chaser, Aleph, Velo, Hey, Chirik Chaser, Samech, Shva, Taf, Chirik Maleh, Resh, Histir. Pe, Kamatz, Nun, Kamatz, Yud, Vav, Panav. And the Yud is kind of silent there. Yeah, Panav. I'm not exactly sure why, but it is. And it happens like that. Like Elav also. It's kind of silent. Maybe I should check that up sometime. Mem, Chirik Chaser, Mem, Segol, Nun, Shuruk, Mimenu. Shuruk, Vet, Shva, Shin, Patach, Vav, Shva, Ayin, Cholam. So that Vav is not a Shuruk, that's just a Vav. Uv, Shav, O. Uv, Shav, O. Aleph, Tere, Lamed, Kamatz, Yud, Vav, Elav. Shin, Kamatz, Mem, Tere, Aleph, Ayin, Patach, Shamea. Mem, Tere, Aleph, Chirik Chaser, Taf, Shva, Chaf, Kamatz, Me'itcha, Taf, Shva, Hey, Chirik Chaser, Lamed, Kamatz, Taf, Chirik Maleh, Tehilati, Bet, Shva, Kaf, Kamatz, Hey Kamatz Lamed Bekahal Resh Kamatz Vet Rav Nun Shva Daled Kamatz Resh Patach Yud Nedarai Aleph Chataf Patach Shin Patach Lamed Tsere Mem Sofit Ashalem Nun Segol Gimel Segol Daled Neged Yud Shva Resh Tsere Aleph Kamatz Yud Vav Yirav Yud Cholam Chaser Aleph Chaf Shva Lamed Shuruk Yochlu Ayin Chataf Patach Nun Kamatz Vav Chirik Male Mem Sofit Anavim Vav Shva Yud Chirik Chaser Sin Shva Bet Kamatz Ayin Shuruk V'yisba'u Yud Shva He Patach Lamed Shva Lamed Shuruk Yehalu Tetragrammaton. So Adonai Daled Cholam Chaser Resh Shva Shin Kamatz Yud Vav Dorshav Yud Shva Het Chirik Male Yechi Lamed Shva Vet Patach Vet Shva Haf Segol Mem Sofit Levavchem Lamed Kamatz Ayin Patach Daled Laad Yud Chirik Chaser Zayin Kaf Shva the Zayin also has a Shva Resh Shuruk Yizkaru Vav Shva Yud Kamatz Shin Kubutz Bet Vet Shuruk Veyashuvu Aleph Segol Lamed El Tetragrammaton Adonai Kaf Kamatz Katan Lamed Kol Aleph Patach Fe Shva Samech Tere Yud Afse Aleph Kamatz Resh Segol Tzadi Sofit Aretz Vav Shva Yud Chirik Chaser Shin Shva Taf Patach Het Chataf Patach Vav Shuruk Veishtachavu. And because the Vav has its own Shuruk, has its own vocalization, that's how you know that it's actually pronounced as a Vav. Veishtachavu. Lamed Shva Fe Kamatz Nun Segol Yud Chaf Kamatz Lefanecha Kaf Kamatz Katan Lamed Kol Mem Chirik Chaser Shin Shva Pe Shva Het Cholam Male Tav Mishpachot Gimel Cholam Male Yud Chirik Chaser Mem Sofit Goyim Kaf Chirik Male Ki Lamed Patach and then the Tetragrammaton. So La Adonai He Patach Mem Shva Lamed Shuruk Chaf Kamatz He Hamlucha Shuruk Mem Cholam Chaser Shin Tere Lamed Umoshel Bet Patach Gimel Cholam Maleh Yud Chirik Chaser Mem Sofit Bagoyim. Aleph Kamatz Chaf Shva Lamed Shuruk Achlu Vav Patach Yud Chirik Chaser Shin Shva Tav Patach Het Chatav Patach Vav Shuruk Veishtachavu Kaf Kamatz Katan Lamed Kol Daled Chirik Chaser Shin Shva Nun Tzere Yud Dishnei Aleph Segol Resh Segol Tzadi Sofit Eretz Lamed Shva Fe Kamatz Nun Kamatz Yud Vav Lefanav Yud Chirik Chaser Het Shva Resh Shva Ayin Shuruk Yichra'u Kaf Kamatz Katan Lamed Kol Yud Cholam Maleh Resh Shva Daled Tzere Yud Yordei Ayin Kamatz Fe Kamatz Resh Afar Vav Segol Nun Patach Fe Shva Shin Cholam Maleh Venafsho. I think I said that correctly. I hope I said that correctly. Lamed, I'm getting tired. Cholam Chaser Aleph Lo Het Chirik Chaser Yud Kamatz Hey Chia Zayin Segol Resh Patach Ayin Zera Yud Patach Ayin Patach Vet Shva Dalid Segol Nun Shuruk Yavdenu Yud Shva Samech Kubutz Pei Kamat Patach, sorry, Resh Yesupar Lamed Patach Aleph Dalid Cholam Chaser Nun Kamatz Yud, and this is the natural way of saying La Adonai, right? To my Lord. Is that how they translate it? Yeah. Of the Lord, yeah. Lamed Patach Daled Cholam Maleh Resh Lador. And last verse, Yud Kamatz Vet Cholam Chaser Aleph Shuruk Yavo'u Vav Shva Yud Patach Gimel Chirik Maleh Daled Shuruk V'Yagidu Tzadi Chirik Chaser Daled Shva Kuf Kamatz Taf Cholam Maleh Tzidkato Lamed Shva Ayin Patach Mem Sofit La'am Nun Cholam Maleh Lamed Kamatz Daled Nolad Kaf Chirik Maleh Ayin Kamatz Sin Kamatz Hey Asa. Okay, so hopefully somebody will someday find this useful. I wanted to do this so that people who are just learning to read have something they can I can point them to, and it'll be a good way for them to practice and learn. And I thought this would be a an appropriate psalm for people who want to learn at least to read some Hebrew, to learn to read Hebrew. So that's Psalm 22. I plan to kind of make this a regular thing if people are interested of reading Psalm 22 in Hebrew. I might ask somebody who knows the cantillations to actually sing it with the chant it with the cantillations, so you can have it. If you have comments, questions, whatever, please first like and subscribe. Second, please comment and tell me what you think. And I do want to know what you think of the idea of this being possibly an appropriate replacement for the rosary for Protestants who don't feel comfortable with the rosary but would like something that is similarly can be recited in a similar manner and as kind of a chant, and has a is what Jesus did on the cross, really. So yeah, that was my idea. Please let me know what you think. There is apparently somebody watching, so I am going to hang around for another few minutes, another 15 minutes or so, just in case somebody has questions, or that somebody else who just started watching has questions. But if not, I bid you adieu. Next live stream is going to be tomorrow night. We are going to be back to doing our we are going to be on Genesis chapter 42, and on Friday I intend to do a sort of memoriam for the Rebbe, because his Yortzeit, the anniversary of his death, is on Saturday. Yeah, let me know what you think.